Hello everyone, today I'm sharing with you my new painting in Procreate. I called it The Best Holidays Ever. This painting is about a little girl who's for the first time visiting space, and she sees how Earth looks like from space. I was thinking something like maybe her parents were studying the space, so they are astronauts. When kids usually travel to another cities, this girl visited space for her holidays. Don't know why, I just want to paint it. And I want to paint it because I'm not very good at drawing space. So I wanted to practice it. Because, you know, it's easy to paint something that you see every day in front of you. But I've never been to space. Of course I cannot paint it from imagination, so I'm using a lot of references and trying to create something new. I always been fascinated by space, and I never had astronomy classes at school when I was a teenager, and of course I didn't have astronomy when I was in art university, because it was art university. Why would there be astronomy? But I want to learn. And I want to study everything space related. I read some books about this topic. I watch sometimes documentary, and I have a very beautiful book. This book, it says map of the universe. It has the most beautiful pictures. Have the most beautiful illustrations about space. I just want to show something. For example, this is how our universe looks like. It's the structure of the universe. When I saw it, I thought, so our universe looks like a sponge washing dishes. Not very poetic, but okay. So what interesting is, like, look at the quality. Look at the quality of these pictures. I love it. Everything is so colorful. But the problem with this book, when I started reading it, I read only 3 pages, and I didn't read it, and I didn't read all the book, because I was googling every single word. It's like, it's the beginning, it's the basic, and it's so difficult it's always difficult to study something that you never studied before. But to be honest, I was struggling a lot, so I was like, okay, this is too difficult, I probably should return to it later, because this is, I don't know how much time I need to spend to read this whole book and understand it, everything. But I'm not giving up. I will get to this book, and I hope that one day maybe I'll draw series of oil paintings based on different space events. But to draw it, I need to study everything and read more, because for example, I painted a year ago bird collection of oil paintings, and to draw this 38 paintings, I read like 4 books, and some things I knew before that I was reading. And this is just birds. It's easy. And here's like astronomy, and I'm like, whoa, how much information do I need to read, and how much I need to go, how deeper do I need to go to understand not all these topics, but most topics. Okay, I'm complaining a lot, and also, if I start talking about books, I wanted to share something more more easy, but maybe this would be useful. There's one book I want to recommend for everyone who's watching this video called Culture Map by Erin Meyer. Maybe I mispronounced her name, I'm sorry. This book is telling the difference about how people from different cultures think, and I found this book very useful. It's a book this is from American businesswoman who is sharing how she were doing business with people from different countries, and she explained and I'll show you the main screenshots from this book. If you're not interested in reading it, maybe you would screenshot what you see on the screen, and maybe this would be useful. Why I'm sharing this? I'm sharing this because I know that people who maybe own business and talk to people from different countries, it may be difficult to understand sometimes how people think, and to me this book explains so much. And of course this book doesn't tell you about every country. It says about only, I don't know how much, 20 countries, 10 countries, I don't remember. So, but it was very useful and it explained to me a lot of things. For example, if you look at this picture, I was laughing when I saw this picture and a little horrified. Horrified I was because I was like, wait a second. So when people say that something is interesting, they don't mean that this is interesting. They mean the opposite thing. And my mind was like, boom. I was like, wait a second, my life is a lie. Everything I knew before is not true. Or when and this phrase that was said, it's all my fault. This phrase that says, it's all my fault. I would never thought that some cultures people would use this phrase and it would mean that this is my fault. Because if someone says to me something like, oh, it's all my fault, I would be like, yeah, it's your fault. Good job. Because and it's never occurred to me that this is not social situations are so difficult. I always had problems with social situations in my own country, but when you start learning about other cultures, it's like, whoa, the world is so difficult and I have so much to learn. But anyways, I hope that maybe this book would be helpful, or maybe you're watching and you're like, yeah, I always knew that's obvious. But to me it was a revelation. So I'm talking a lot. Thank you so much for watching. I'll share a video process of this painting with you.